Well, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is the story of how the most public love story of 2025 fell apart in the most public way possible, and what Cardi B's silence about the real reason tells you more than any tell-all ever could. In September 2025, Cardi sat down with Gayle King on CBS Mornings, told the world she was having a baby with her boyfriend Stefon Diggs, and said, "I'm excited, I'm happy." She recalled Diggs telling her, "Let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you." 5 months later, she walked into the Super Bowl, performed in Bad Bunny's halftime show, left the stadium before the game even ended, and when a reporter asked her to leave Diggs an inspiring message, all she said was 2 words, "Good luck." That was it. Good luck. And then she was gone. So what happened between "let me heal you" and "good luck"? Because the answer involves 4 babies with 4 different women in a single year, a felony charge, an ongoing federal lawsuit, and the kind of situation that anonymous sources couldn't stop talking about, even though Cardi herself barely said a word. And that restraint? That restraint told you everything.
How are you feeling about that, and that this will be baby number 4 for you, Cardi?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm I'm excited. I'm happy.
Now, before we get into the mess, y'all need to understand how fast this moved. Rumors that Cardi and Diggs were seeing each other started in October 2024 when they were spotted together at a club. Cardi denied it on Instagram Live, called the rumors crazy, but by February 2025, TMZ had video of them at a New York City nightclub and then arriving at a Miami hotel together on Valentine's Day. At that point, everybody knew. Now, here's the part people forget. Cardi was still technically married to Offset during all of this. She had filed for divorce for the second time in the summer of 2024. She first filed in 2020 and then reconciled. And as of mid-2026, that divorce had still not been finalized due to financial disputes. Cardi addressed it on an X Spaces live stream in September 2025, saying, "The only reason why I'm still married is because somebody wants me to pay for their taxes and give them one of my properties." And Offset's reaction when Cardi and Diggs went public? He commented, "Good rollout on PR," and then deleted it. Later, after a video of Cardi giving Diggs a lap dance at Coachella went viral in April 2025, a fan commented, "Offset punching air," and Offset replied, "I'm happy for her," with 2 exclamation points. I'm going to give Offset credit here because responding with "I'm happy for her" after watching your ex give another man a lap dance at Coachella, that's either growth or pain, possibly both. But Cardi and Diggs weren't slowing down. If anything, they were speeding up. On May 12, 2025, they hard-launched the relationship, courtside at the Knicks vs. Celtics Game 4 at Madison Square Garden, Eastern Conference semis. Cardi squeezed Diggs' cheeks on the Jumbotron. It was everywhere. By June, they were Instagram official with yacht photos. They took a trip to Paris. In early July, Cardi briefly wiped Diggs from her Instagram, which sent the internet into a panic, but it turned out to be an album promo cleanup. She later posted a Patek Philippe watch he gave her, and then came the big announcement, September 17th, 2025. CBS Mornings with Gayle King. 2 days before her album Am I the Drama dropped, Cardi confirmed the pregnancy and said, "I'm having a baby with my boyfriend Stefon Diggs. I'm excited. I'm happy." The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 200,000 equivalent album units, 88,000 in album sales, 110,000 streaming equivalent units from 145 million on-demand streams. That made Cardi the first female rapper to have her first 2 albums debut at number 1, and she did it while pregnant. At this point, everybody was rooting for them. She had just come off a messy divorce, dropped a number 1 album, and found somebody who, at least publicly, seemed like he was showing up for her. The album was called Am I the Drama? And for a minute there, the answer was no. She wasn't the drama. She was just happy. But baby, that didn't last. Because what Cardi didn't know, or at least what she didn't know yet, is that Stefon Diggs had a lot more going on than what he was showing her. On November 4th, 2025, Cardi gave birth to their son. She announced it on November 13. Diggs commented, "Proud of you, boo butt, love you," and revealed the nickname Baby Brim. Cardi also calls him Touchdown. This was Cardi's 4th child, her first 3 with Offset: Culture, born July 2018, Wave, born September 2021, and Blossom, born September 2024. And then, days after the baby was born, another headline dropped. Model Aileen LaPera's daughter, Charlie Harper Diggs LaPera, born April 2, 2025, was confirmed by paternity test in November 2025 to be Diggs' child. The timing means Diggs fathered that child child while he and Cardi were already together, while he was taking her to Paris and going Instagram official and sitting courtside at Madison Square Garden. Another woman was pregnant with his baby. Let me make sure y'all caught that. Cardi just gave birth. Days later, a paternity test confirms Diggs is the father of another baby born 7 months before theirs. 7 months. That means while he was telling her, "Let me heal you," somebody else was carrying his child. And that's not even the full picture, because it wasn't just 2 babies. Per Sports Illustrated, Stefon Diggs fathered 4 children with 4 different women in 2025. 4. One each with Cardi B, Aileen LaPera, Kiana Barber, and Kei Benji. He also has his eldest daughter, Nova, born October 14, 2016. That brings his known total to 6 children. 4 kids. 4 different women in 1 calendar year. And people really want to ask what ended this relationship. Baby, what didn't end it? The real question isn't why Cardi left. The real question is why she stayed as long as she did. And honestly, I think the answer is she actually loved him, which makes it worse. Now, after the breakup, anonymous sources started talking to the press. Sources told Us Weekly, "He betrayed her so many times. Her friends have been trying to show her that he is not right for her and that she deserved better." Sources told People, "The second she felt that she couldn't trust him, she pulled back to focus on her kids, her music, and tour." But I need to be very clear about something here. Those are not Cardi's words. Betrayed came from an anonymous source. Couldn't trust him. A viral post that claimed Cardi said she caught him red-handed was fact-checked as fabricated. She never said that. What Cardi actually said, in her own words, on her own platforms, was very different, and that's what makes this story so interesting.
Let me tell you something. Just because I ain't with my baby daddy doesn't mean you get to talk about my baby daddy. Just for you.
Because most people in her position would have gone scorched earth. Cardi didn't. February 7th, 2026. Super Bowl weekend red carpet. Asked to leave Diggs an inspiring message. She said good luck and walked off. 3 days later, she performed in Bad Bunny's halftime show at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The Patriots lost 29-13 to the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III was named MVP after 135 rushing yards. Cardi left before the game ended. February 15th, 2026. Her Little Miss Drama Tour stop in Los Angeles. This is the moment that matters. She confirmed the split, but she did it while defending Diggs. Rapper BIA had been taking shots, posting something along the lines of, "Can you name someone with more baby mamas than receiving yards?" Cardi addressed it on stage. She said, "Let me tell you something. Just because I ain't messing with my baby daddy doesn't mean you get to talk about my baby daddy." And then she performed her BIA diss track, Pretty and Petty. Think about that for a second. She confirmed the breakup and defended him from someone else's disrespect in the same breath. That's not a bitter ex. That's someone who genuinely cared about the person who hurt her. February 27th, 2026, San Francisco show. She said, "It's called The Principle. You can't be out here playing with a woman like me. There's people out here praying for a woman like me. You hear me? And I'm too attractive to be lonely and too grown to be played with." She never named Diggs. And then on March 5th, she walked the whole thing back on X. She posted, "Not everything is a shot or personal. I'm actually repeating lyrics from the songs. Relax." She told the internet to calm down. She never said the word cheating, never said betrayal, never said caught him. She said principle and played with, and then told everyone to relax. And that's the part that gets me. She had every right to go on live and show receipts and name names and tear it all down. She didn't. She let the internet fill in the blanks, and the internet filled them in pretty accurately. She didn't need to expose him. The timeline exposed him.
The world wants to know if you guys are back together.
Bro, this not the time, bro. That's a beautiful, that's my child's mother. I love her to death, you know what I'm saying? But you have to ask her.
Now, Diggs was telling a different story. On June 3rd, 2026, TMZ caught up with him and asked if they were together. He said, "That's a beautiful, talented mother. I love her to death. You have to ask her." When they brought up a viral video of the two of them arguing outside a coffee shop in Burtonsville, Maryland, TMZ had caught them on camera in mid-May. Diggs said, "What argument? I don't even think that was an argument." Cardi responded to that video on X by saying, "Sometimes I forget I'm a celebrity. Y'all ain't never cuss your baby dad out when you hungry?" During Super Bowl week, Diggs had suggested a proposal was on the agenda. Reports said he wanted to get a ring first. In spring 2026, outlets said he was actively trying to win Cardi back, and there were signs it was working. In April, he showed up at her concert at Capital One Arena in DC, and they reportedly left together. On May 9, they were showing affection at his Diggs Deep Foundation Mother's Day event, and then 4 days later, the explosive coffee shop argument happened on camera. I'm going to give Diggs this much. He has never said a bad word about her publicly, not once. once. I love her to death is not what a man says when he's moved on. That's what a man says when he knows he messed up and he's hoping she comes back. And she kept coming back until she didn't. But Diggs's problems weren't just about Cardi, because while all of this was happening, he was dealing with something a lot more serious. In December 2025, Diggs was charged with felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault and his live-in chef, Jamila Adams, hired in July 2025 at roughly $2,000 per week, stated that Diggs struck and choked her on December 2 during a pay dispute. He pleaded not guilty. His arraignment was pushed to February 13, 2026, so he could play in the Super Bowl. A Norfolk County jury acquitted him on May 5, 2026, deliberating for under 2 hours. But during the trial, Adams testified that her relationship with Diggs had become intimate while he was publicly with Cardi. After Diggs and Cardi's Mother's Day reunion, Adams posted a video addressed to Cardi making serious, unproven claims about how Diggs treated her. Those claims have not been confirmed by Cardi or verified independently. Separately, Diggs sued influencer Christopher Blake Griffith for defamation in October 2025. Griffith countersued with his own very serious allegations. Diggs categorically denies Griffith's claims and calls them fabricated. A related case against Diggs's brother Darius was confidentially settled in July 2026. The case against Stefon is ongoing. Cardi publicly defended Diggs against Griffith's claims in July 2026. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all he's guilty of things a jury said he wasn't guilty of. He was acquitted in the chef case. He denies everything in the Griffith case. But imagine being Cardi. You just had this man's baby. You're trying to make it work. And every other week there's a new headline, a new allegation, a new woman, a new courtroom. At some point, it doesn't matter what any single verdict says. The chaos itself becomes the problem. And I think that's what Cardi meant by principle. As of summer 2026, it looks like this one is done for good. On June 20, Cardi said on an X Spaces live stream that her next relationship will be private, widely interpreted as confirming a permanent split. On July 26th, she admitted on X Spaces that she had a brief slip-up where she went back to some mess before cutting it off. She didn't name who. She's been spotted with Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka Okoye, who plays for Udinese in Italy's Serie A, at Paris Fashion Week in early July and dining in Venice around July 19. She's moving on. Diggs is an NFL free agent after New England released him, clearing over $16 million in cap space. In his one Patriots season, he caught 85 passes for 1,013 yards with 4 touchdowns and helped the team reach the Super Bowl. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler and a first-team All-Pro. He's fighting the ongoing Griffith case, and he's a father of 6. They co-parent their son. So after everything, the love, the babies, the headlines, the chaos, here's what I think really ended things between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. It wasn't one moment. It wasn't one woman. It wasn't one headline. It was the accumulation of all of it. 4 children with 4 different women in 1 year, a paternity test that dropped days after she gave birth to his son, a chef who testified under oath that her relationship with Diggs crossed a line while he was publicly with Cardi, an acquittal that still put his personal life under a microscope, lawsuits piling up, and through all of that, Cardi never went on live and aired him out, never posted screenshots, never said the words cheating or betrayal. Those words came from anonymous sources speaking to tabloids, not from her. What she said was principle. What she said was, you can't be out here playing with a woman like me. And then she got on her tour bus and sold out arenas. The reason Cardi never exposed Stefon Diggs is because she didn't have to. The timeline exposed him. 4 kids in 1 year exposed him. The headlines and the courtrooms and the paternity tests exposed him. Her silence was the exposure, and that might be the most powerful thing she could have done, because everybody heard what she didn't say, and everybody understood exactly what it meant. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.